Hey everyone, and welcome to the Tesla Daily Investor. Today is the 14th of April 2025. It's around 3:50 here in London, and I'm gonna do a video today to update you on my portfolio and some of the developments that have been happening. So before we get into it, I'm just gonna have a look at my portfolio to see how things are going. So my general investment is valued around 55,000, just under 56,000. My stocks and shares ISA is just over 15,000, and my self-invested personal pension is just over 17,000. So what I've done is I've been transferring money. I've been selling shares in my general investment account and then sending it to my self-invested personal pension account. So as you can see, I have around 2,900 ready to invest in my self-invested personal pension. So this money I've taken from my income and I've put directly into my general investment account to start with, and then I started selling and transferring over because my main aim is to reduce the amount of investments that I have in my general investment account so I can move them towards my stocks and shares ISA and my SIPP, so I can reduce my tax liability. So I've been doing that, but what I need to do is whenever I transfer or whenever I buy something in my self-invested personal pension account, I need to sell the equivalent amount in my general investment account, because this money I have to return to my current account because I haven't taken into account any bills, any taxes. So anything that I put in here is gonna, anything that I put into my SIP from my GIA, I'm gonna have to sell that and then ensure I return it back to my general investment account. It is quite complicated. Maybe I'm doing this the long way around, but the only reason I'm doing it like this is because I don't want to wait about 4 to 5 working days for something to be sold and then transferred over to my SIP. So suppose I sell something in my GIA account today, it will probably take 4 working days for it to arrive in my SIP if I was to do that transfer. What I'm doing now is I'm doing it directly. I'm inputting money directly into my SIP, and any money that I put in, I sell that equivalent amount in my general investment account. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my self-invested personal pension and I'm gonna buy this amount of Tesla shares. So I'm gonna be buying Tesla shares now. So I'm gonna use a 2988.36. So 2899.36. So the number of shares that I'm going to be buying is 14.8093. So it's constantly changing. So it's going to be 14. I'm going to try and get 14.8. So I'm going to review the order and I'm going to confirm the buy. Okay, so that's done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my GIA account and I'm going to sell 14.8 shares. So I'm going to get less money back. So I'm going to put this order through now. Okay, so that's done. So the reason I'm doing this is obviously to minimize my tax liability, but also we get a certain amount of money that we can, we can take profit on, certain amount in your GIA that we can take profit on without triggering a capital gains liability. So I'm trying to keep within those parameters to reduce the tax liability on my account. So basically, my main aim is to take money from my general investment account and then put it into my self-invested personal pension account. The reason I'm doing this is obviously because I'm a long-term investor, and any money that I put into my self-invested personal pension, I can only access it at when I'm aged 57. So it's a long way away. And also, whenever I take money from my general investment account and put it into my self-invested personal pension account, I will also receive tax relief from the government, about 20, which is 20%. And then any money that I receive, I can invest it again. So it's gonna, like, hopefully more than offset any, FX fees or fees that I incur while I'm doing this. So that's the first reason. The second reason I'm doing this is I want to, like, reduce my tax liability. So any money that grows in the future, I don't want it to be liable for too much tax. So suppose my general investment account was to 10 or 20x over the next 5 to 10 years, I would have to pay 40% capital gains tax on any of the profit that I make. So what I would rather do now is take the money from my general investment account and start distributing it into my stocks and shares ISA account and my self-invested personal pension account, so I'm reducing my tax liability. So that's done. The next thing I'm gonna do, another thing I forgot to mention is, what I try to do every day is invest £500 into the stock market. Unfortunately, this week I've had a lot of emergencies that have come up, a lot of issues in my business, so I'm gonna have to postpone that £500 investment into the stock market. So I am receiving money from my businesses, from my employment, but I've had a few emergencies and I need to, like, put these things right before I can invest into the stock market. It's very disappointing because this is obviously a great time to be investing in the stock market. Everything is oversold, and this is like the ideal time to actually, put money into the stock market. So I'm very disappointed with that, but I'm just using this opportunity to kind of like rejig my portfolio to make it as tax efficient as possible. So that's that. The next thing that I will be doing is I'm gonna be transferring I'm going to be contributing £1,000 into my self-invested personal pension from my current account. But obviously this is money that I can't invest because I need it for my emergency. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be selling £1,000 worth of stock from my GIA account so I can return it to my current account. So basically it is very complicated, but what you'll see over time is my general investment account going down in value and my self-invested personal pension and stocks and shares ISA going up in value. So that's the plan. So the plan is obviously to make it as tax efficient as possible for the future. It's better to do it now rather than later when it's going to be harder to manage taxation. So let's do this now. So I'm gonna go into my SIPP account, and then what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be contributing some money from my bank account. So it's gonna be £1,000 that I contribute. So this is gonna give me an additional £250 tax relief from the government, and I'm gonna be receiving that in about 6 to 8 weeks time. So again, I'm not investing any money, but just doing this process of like taking from my general investment account into my SIPP account is helping me to invest money, get tax relief from the government. Obviously when I retire, when things mature, when the account is mature and I take money out of the account, I'm gonna be paying income tax on that. So you know, hopefully in the end it's just going to balance itself out where I come out on top. So I'm going to review this payment, continue to my bank account. Okay, so I'm just going to try that again. Something went wrong there. So review your honor. Yep. So I'm just going to check everything. £1,000. I'm going to continue. Okay, I'm going to go back to free trade now. Okay, so that's done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that money and I'm going to put it all in Tesla. Okay, so I'm going to be purchasing 5.1535 shares. I'm going to review the order, put the order through. Okay, so that's gone through now. And then what I'm going to be doing is just check. So it was 5.1496. So I'm going to be selling that amount in my GIA account. So let me just double check that. 51496, 51496. So 5.1496. So that's giving me £994. So I'm just gonna increase it a little bit. Okay, so that's 1,000. So I'm just gonna do 5.15. Review the order and confirm the sale. So I've got to pay an FX fee of £3.89, which is disappointing. But like I said, by doing this move, I'm going to be getting tax relief from the government, and hopefully that's going to cover the fee and any other like small losses that I've incurred. And then hopefully over time, the tax relief that I get from the government will, you know, grow into something big. And when I do take the money out, I'm going to try and minimize my taxation then as well. So hopefully it's going to be a win-win for me. So that's done. Okay, so I'm just going to check my accounts now. So as you can see, I have £3,868.54 in my general investment account. So once everything has settled in that account, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be moving that back into my current account, and then I'm going to be using that money for my household expenses, and then also I'm going to be using that money to pay for taxation, set aside some money for taxation, and then also for the emergencies that I've had coming in at the moment. So again, I'm really disappointed that I'm not, you know, putting money into the stock market, but the next best thing that I can do is transfer money from my general investment account into my self-invested personal pension, so I can get that tax relief from the government. So any tax relief that I get in the future, I will be able to invest that into the stock market, into the companies that I invest in. So again, it is a little bit complicated at the moment, but the main thing that I'm trying to do, the main aim at the moment, is take money from my general investment account and put it into my stocks and shares ISA account and my SIPP account. So it makes my, you know, it makes this retirement account, my ISA account, it makes everything tax efficient. So what you will see is my GIA account going down, and my stocks and shares ISA and my self-invested personal pension account slowly going up. So that's the plan. So for anyone who's new to my YouTube channel, this channel is all about long-term investing. So when I buy something, I buy it for at least 5 years, and I will try to hold it for at least 10 years. So that's number one. Number two, I'm a very, very aggressive investor. So what I do is I try to invest a minimum of £300 into the stock market, and I try and aspire to invest at least, £500 into the stock market. I've been excuse me, I've been doing that for the last 4 weeks now. I've been putting £500 into the stock market, but recently I've had some emergencies that I need to deal with, which is why I've paused this for the moment until I start getting more money coming in. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I'm a very, volatile investor. So I invest in very volatile companies like Tesla, MicroStrategy, and Nvidia. So these are very volatile companies where the companies can double or the companies can halve in a matter of weeks or days. So you have to have the right temperament to invest in these accounts. So Tesla, for example, it can double in a few days, or it can go down, it can go down more than 60-70% in a matter of like 7 days. So again, you have to have the stomach for this. And fourthly, I try to make these accounts, my SIPP account, my ISA account, and my GIA account, or this portfolio in general, as tax efficient as possible. So when I say tax efficient, I'm going to maximize my stocks and shares ISA, I'm going to maximize my SIP, and I'm going to try and keep a minimum amount in my general investment account. So there's 4 parts to this strategy. The first part is to invest regularly into the stock market. The second part is to invest over a long period of time. The third is to invest in very, very volatile stocks. And finally, the last part is to be as tax efficient as possible. So I'm going to keep on doing this for the foreseeable future, and my ultimate target is to get to $1 million. So I want to get to $1 million as soon as possible. I'm hoping to get there in 5 years, but I've done some projections, and if my projections are correct and I can go at the same rate without pausing too many times, I should hit my target between 3 to 4 years time. So hopefully sooner. You never know. If I can increase my income, if I can pump £1,000 into the stock market every day rather than 500 or 300, this will help. And also, if the companies that I invest in increase very quickly or very rapidly once I put the majority of the contributions in, that should help as well. But ultimately, my goal is to get to $1 million as soon as possible. So for anyone who's interested, tag along, like and subscribe to my channel. And I have about 1,000 subscribers at the moment. I'm trying to get to 2,000. So join me on my journey. See if you can do this as well. Challenge yourself to invest £1 a month, then £2 a month, then £1 a day. So just keep on challenging yourself and see how much you can deploy into the stock market. And also find companies that you believe in. So I believe in Tesla, I believe in MicroStrategy, I believe in Nvidia, and this is the reason why I'm investing all in for these companies. So yeah, so I hope you found this video useful, and I will be making another video tomorrow to give you another update on my portfolio. So at the moment, the portfolio is around, let's have a look, 50, 60, 70, about 85 to 90,000. When you take everything into account, all my accounts, is something around 90 to probably 93,000 to 95,000. So I have exceeded the $100,000 barrier. So I've got another 10x to go from there. So once the market returns to how it was in January, hopefully it should go to around $200,000, and then if a bull run starts, then hopefully it might go to 400, 450. Who knows? So I just need to concentrate on my strategy, which is to just keep on pumping a minimum of 300 to a maximum of £1,000 into the stock market every day. So that's it for today. I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care.